You were never just a teacher. I'm just a teacher. You were never just a teacher. You were always a problem solver, an innovator, and the solution. But in our profession, we are not always given permission to be the solution. We're told to follow the curriculum and teach the standard. We are also taught to implement the programs forced upon us with fidelity. Innovation is not the norm. In the 1820s, the U.S. education public system began. It was established to create not innovative students, but students who could complete repetitive tasks over and over again. Innovation was not the norm. And there were classrooms with rows of desks, bells that started and stopped instruction. If that sounds familiar, it's because we're doing education the same way today. Despite us having modern technology, despite improvements and more knowledge about neuroscience and even human development, and that's a problem. You see, in education, we are focused on compliance, not just compliance for the little people, but even compliance in our educators. We should shift from compliant educators to innovative ones. So, why are we focusing on compliance rather than innovation? And why are we underutilizing the human capital in our school buildings? This question became personal to me years ago. I was teaching fourth grade at a school, and I went to my principal after seeing a post on social media about a foundation who was offering a grant opportunity, $10,000. I went to him and I said, "Is it okay for me to apply for this grant, keep $5,000 for my class to purchase laptops for my little people, and give $5,000 to the school?" He gave his permission. So I applied for the grant, and thankfully, I won the grant. Imagine my devastation, though, when I returned from Christmas break to find that he had taken all of the money. My mom saw a write up in the newspaper about how he had applied for the grant and earned the grant, and he was touted and lauded. Once I calmed her down and got myself together, I did what educators do. I spent my own money. I went to pawn shop after pawn shop searching for 4 or 5 gently used laptops that I could use to create my own technology station for my fourth grade little people. Thankfully, I found 5 laptops, and they even threw in discolored and different types of bags for my laptops. I was excited, and it only cost me $1,000. So solving that problem helped my little people. I put in for a transfer from that school the next year. And then 2 years later, at my new school, I found that there was another problem. I was teaching third grade, but I had gone back to school to get a higher degree in instructional leadership or school leadership. I needed what were called professional learning units or PLU courses. I needed 5 of them, but those that were available were outdated or they weren't available to me because I was still in the classroom. There were some that were available that took a full year for me to earn. Remember, I needed 5 and I only had 2 years to earn them. So again, I did what educators do, and this time I built what I needed. I started creating courses for myself to take, for me to earn my own PLUs. And then there were other educators who also needed them. So I invited them to join my courses for a nominal fee. I did what educators do. Educators are innovators, but we're not always given permission to innovate. When we are, we become the solution to our problem. That year, as a third grade teacher, I stepped into my entrepreneurship era. An edupreneur is an educator with an entrepreneurial spirit and mindset. We are creative. We are the solution to our problems, but oftentimes we're not given permission to be just that. In my doctoral studies, I wanted to study this phenomenon and learn more about teacher leaders like me. If you weren't the assistant principal or the principal, you were not necessarily considered a leader. What I learned from the teacher leaders that I spoke with and interviewed was that they wanted more opportunities to lead and they wanted high quality mentorship from their principals. I continued on this road to learn more about how do we create better leaders in schools. I believe we can increase leadership from the teacher level in schools if we allow teachers to ask, what if? What if school did not have to be the same way it has always been? I'm currently grappling with new what ifs. What if certified teachers could sign up to teach for 2, maybe 3 hours a day? Or what if they could say, I'll work 1 day a week? I know some certified teachers that would go back to the classroom for that. I'm one. Or what if teachers could bring their innovative ideas before a panel of their peers to earn grant funds from the district or from an outside foundation for their innovative and creative idea? Why are we not allowing teachers to say, this is what I see needs to happen, and here's how I'll solve that problem? When we step into allowing teachers to be the innovators, not ask for permission, we will see changes in our schools like never before. But we've got to give them that space to be innovative. We must give them opportunities to implement what they see the problems are. Research shows that educators make more than 1,000 decisions every single day. So as educators, we are best positioned to solve our problems. It does not take another government mandate. What it takes is for us to ask the what ifs and then for us to see it through and solve our problems. Because you were never just a teacher. You were always an innovator. So hold your head up high and never again use the word just, because just should not be in our vocabulary. A teacher is an innovator. A teacher can be an edupreneur. A teacher is the solution to what our schools need today. Thank you.